Hi guys, welcome back to the course. We're going to take a look at importing your campaigns from Google into your Bing Ads account. So it's a really straightforward process. If you go ahead and navigate to your ads.microsoft.com login, and you'll come to this interface. So you're on the main dashboard. You've got this option at the very top of the screen, which is the import section. There's a couple of different options here. So you can import from Google Ads, Facebook Ads, a file, and you can take a look at schedules and history as well. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Google Ads import. So this is a really useful feature because it basically allows you to copy everything that you've already built from a Google Ads campaign, keyword, ads, etc., and copy them straight into your Bing Ads account. So most account managers, PPC account managers, will tend to use this import option as a kind of quick win to get set up on Bing Ads. What I would say is that although it is really easy and a really useful feature to just be able to add everything that you've already done from Google into Bing, it is important to understand how things perform on Bing individually. So although your kind of top campaigns on Google might be whatever they are on Google, they might differ slightly when you start running them in Bing. So just make sure that when you do import them, you keep a close eye on the performance, which we'll talk about a little bit later in our feature sessions. So once you get to this import section, this is where you can sign into your Google account to choose which account to import. So if you've got multiple accounts, you'll have an option to select whichever account is relevant that you want to import. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in with my Google account here. I've got all these different accounts that I can import, so I'm going to import the one that's most relevant to me. And then I'm going to start the import. So this is where you get to choose kind of the settings. So you can name it, you can set a schedule. It's on auto at the minute. You can change it to now, which if you want to import them right now is what you'd want to do. You can do it one time, so you can select a specific date and time to import it, or you can do it daily, weekly, and monthly. So we'll look at setting up a schedule later. Right now I just want to kind of take a look at doing it kind of now, so I'm going to save it as that. And then I'm going to look at the advanced import option. So when you're importing into Bing Ads, if you just go through with the import, it'll import everything, but you can actually choose specific campaigns that you want to import rather than the whole account. So if you go on this advanced options, you've got two options. So you can import all existing new campaigns, or you can import specific campaigns and ad groups. So what I'll show you is how that works. So here you've got a breakdown of what's actually running. So in this example, obviously with the dummy account, there's only one campaign in my Google Ads account anyway. But if, for example, I only wanted to import a couple of the campaigns rather than all of them to see if, just to do an initial test on Bing, this is how I would choose the different campaign options. Obviously, the case is that I just want to import everything, so I'm going to leave it as is and then go ahead to the next option. So we can start to kind of control some of the aspects of the settings, etc. when we import. So it let me go through the whole process in terms of kind of account tracking. You've got bids and budgets, etc. So we'll just take a quick look through all these different sections. Import and edit what you feel is most relevant to you. I would suggest it's probably likely that you're going to have potentially a smaller budget to run on Bing, so you might want to change your budgets, etc. Your bids might be slightly lower or higher. Typically, we've talked about it in the intro that you do tend to see lower CPCs on Bing, so you might want to put this in the import when you do it. So let's go through each section. So first section is about account level URL options. Not eligible at the minute, so I'm just going to leave that blank. Items not previously imported in Microsoft Bing. So this is going to basically show import everything that hasn't been imported before. We can have a look at advanced options. So this gives you a breakdown of everything that's going to import. So we've got campaigns, we've got ad groups, ads, etc. It might be that you want to import all your campaigns, all your ad groups and keywords, but you don't want to import the ads because you want a slightly different messaging for ads on Bing than you've got on Google Ads. So you might untick ads and say, look, I don't want to import that part. I'm just going to leave it selected for now for the example. Keyword landing page URLs, you might kind of want to update those. There's tracking templates, etc. Targeting, you've got location targets, ad schedules, devices. All your targeting sections, I think location, obviously, etc., is relevant. Your ad schedule potentially relevant as well, but if you've done an optimized ad schedule based on performance in Google, potentially you haven't if you're running an automated bid strategy. But if you do, this might be something you want to remove. Any device targets that you've got running and audiences, etc., it's going to import all of that. You've got all the different extensions as well. So it's going to pull through all your site links, your price extensions, your location extensions. In a normal circumstance, everything that's in Google should and will be relevant for Bing, but it's best to go through and just double check everything and see if there's anything that you want to adjust. Bids and budgets, this is where you might kind of want to make some tweaks. So it's got an automatic tick here to increase keyword, ad group and auto target bids to the minimum Microsoft advertising. So let's just say one of your keywords is or bids is kind of set at £1, and on Bing it's suggesting that it should be £1.50. It'll automatically increase that for you when it does the import. Or you can customize your bids, so you can increase or decrease. So let's just say that when you do the import, you want to spend, I don't know, 20% less on your bids than what you've got in Google. So you can untick that and you can increase by or decrease by 20%, say, and that's going to bring everything down that you've done. It's got a section here about update. This is basically going to import, if you've done an import before, it's going to update anything that you've changed in Google and import that into Bing. So this is where the update sections come in as well. You've got the increase in campaign budgets to the minimum level for Microsoft advertising. You can leave that as is. It's just going to edit them if needs be. It's very unlikely that anything will change there. It's going to update existing budgets again if you've already got campaigns running, etc. So all of these are kind of good to kind of check through. Other options, it's likely that you might not need to change. So, but just for a quick scan through, things like, you know, you might not want to update the existing campaign names because the structure that you've got, if you have already imported into Bing before, you might not want to rename it. This is actually an interesting one, pause newly imported campaigns. If you choose this, it means that everything that you import gets paused, so there's no chance of it running until you've had time to check it through. I would potentially recommend doing this, just because obviously you're doing, you know, you might be doing quite a large import of all your different campaigns, and if everything's already set up and ready to run, it's probably just a little bit easier just to make sure everything's paused, so you can manually go through and check after the import's been done before going ahead and setting it live. So there's all these different options that you need to kind of have a scan through. So break that down, minimize all the areas, and just make sure that you've chosen everything that you feel is relevant for you. Okay, we'll go through to the next step. Okay, so once you come through, you come to this page. So we've got when, which is now, which was selected at the beginning. You can name your import if you want. I'm not precious about naming them. It's just when you look in the schedule, the history of the import to be able to see. So if you want to call it like my first import, for example, you'll be able to see that named when you look in the history, and then you can go ahead and start your import. So it shouldn't take too long. You can usually kind of come away from the screen while it's doing it, so if you want to continue working on stuff in the background, you can do, and then you'll get a kind of a notification when it's kind of uploaded. So we'll wait for that to process, and then you'll come through and you'll get this notification of import completed, and you'll get a summary of everything that's gone through. So congratulations, your import was successful. You can now review a summary, etc. It'll give you everything that's been imported. So in my case, there's nothing new to add in here just because I've done this before. But if there was, you can kind of go to, you'll get an update of like what's been new that's added, what's been synced, is there anything being deleted. Deleted items will be if you remove something in Google and you've updated it from Bing. Skipped will be if it's obviously, if you're trying to put something in that's already there. So go ahead and view your imported campaigns, and then basically you'll just come to a screen that shows you a breakdown of everything that was imported for you. You'll have a filter on here if imported campaigns, so I can kind of remove that if I don't want to have a filter, and then you can see that my campaign 1 test is there from when I did the import the last time. So the next stage is obviously to check all your settings for your campaign to make sure, or campaigns, to make sure that they are as you hope they should be. So you're going to check things like your locations, etc. So we'll run through how to do that in the next session.